All right, so get this. We're talking about someone who makes the kind of money most actors only dream of.
Yeah.
Like 200 crore rupees a film.
Wow.
And this guy just walks away from it all at the height of his career to dive headfirst into politics.
It is pretty wild, right? We're talking about Thalapathy Vijay.
Oh, yeah.
A total titan in Tamil cinema, and he's launching his own political party.
Okay.
The Tamizhaga Vetri Kazhagam, or TVK.
Okay.
And this isn't just some vanity project.
Right.
His fan base is huge, and they are fired up about this move.
200 crores, though.
Yeah.
That's serious money. To walk away from that kind of success, there's got to be something really driving him. What do you think?
Yeah, you're right on the money. And that recent state conference he had at Vikravandi,
Oh, yeah.
that was a huge signal.
Right.
It wasn't just a regular political rally. It was like a full-blown spectacle.
Really?
Lakhs of supporters showed up, and they even designed the entrance to the venue to look like Fort St. George.
Hold on, Fort St. George. Like the seat of the Tamil Nadu government?
Yeah.
That's not subtle at all.
Nope. It just screams ambition. It's like a direct challenge to the entire power structure.
Wow.
But it wasn't just about the visuals. His speech at Vikravandi, that's where things got really interesting.
Okay, so let's dive into that speech. What were some of the key takeaways?
Well, first off, his style was so direct, really concise. It was a total 180 from those long-winded speeches we're so used to from politicians, you know?
Yeah.
It was like he was saying, look, I'm not here to waste your time. Let's get straight to the point.
I bet that resonated with people.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Especially those who are just tired of all the political jargon.
For sure.
And he wasn't shy about taking on the establishment either,
Okay.
especially the ruling DMK party. There's this one line that really stuck with me.
Yeah.
He challenged the DMK's criticism of the BJP.
Okay.
He asked them, avanga fascism na nenga na paisama.
Oh, wow.
Basically saying, you're calling them fascists, but what about you? What are you doing?
So it sounds like he's not just aligning himself with the existing opposition. He's trying to forge his own path.
Exactly.
So ideologically speaking, where would you say he fits in?
It's interesting. He seems to be drawing inspiration from all over the place. Like he invoked Periyar.
Okay, a champion of social justice.
Right. But he also distanced himself from Periyar's atheism.
Right.
Then he went on to reference Kamaraj and Ambedkar.
Yeah, figures known for good governance and social reform.
Exactly. So it's a pretty complex mix of influences.
It sounds like he's piecing together this really intricate tapestry, pulling from all these different threads of Tamil Nadu's political history.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So what did he have to say about social justice and equality?
Well, he and all the TVK functionaries took an oath.
Okay.
They emphasized their commitment to breaking down barriers based on caste, religion, gender, birthplace, you know, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
They really hammered home the point that they want equal opportunities for everyone.
So there's this real commitment to social justice.
Yeah.
But then he's also taking shots at the DMK. And they're a party often associated with the Dravidian movement and social justice. Isn't that a bit contradictory?
It might seem that way, but not necessarily. He's basically arguing that the DMK has gotten complacent, you know?
Okay.
Like they're using this Dravidian model for their own gain instead of truly serving the people.
So he's trying to reclaim that mantle of social justice. He's positioning TVK as the true heir to that legacy.
Exactly. It's a pretty bold move.
It is.
And he didn't stop there. He went on to slam what he called corrupt forces.
Okay.
A lot of people saw that as a direct attack on the DMK government. He even accused them of exploiting the state, basically painting them as more interested in lining their own pockets than serving the public.
He's not mincing words. That's a pretty scathing critique of the political landscape.
Oh, yeah. And remember, this is all happening against the backdrop of Vijay's massive popularity and this insane spectacle at the Vikravandi conference.
Right.
He's using his star power to amplify his message, and it's definitely making waves.
Okay, so we've got this charismatic actor turned politician giving this fiery speech that takes aim at the establishment. And he's got this passionate fan base hanging on his every word.
So what happens next? What's the next chapter in this story?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Can Vijay actually translate his on-screen charisma and this huge fan following into actual political power?
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
We've seen actors go into politics before, but Tamil Nadu is a whole different ballgame.
It is. The Dravidian parties have been running the show for decades.
Right.
It's not easy to break into that scene.
Nope. And it's fascinating to see how Vijay is navigating it all.
Yeah.
He's tapping into the existing political conversation.
Yeah.
You know, he's using terms like Dravidian model and social justice.
Right.
But he's also trying to position himself as this fresh alternative, someone who isn't weighed down by the baggage of the established parties.
And you can't forget about that incredible visual at Vikravandi.
Yeah.
The entrance designed to look like Fort St. George.
Oh, yeah. It's like he's straight up saying, I'm coming for the top spot.
It was a brilliant move. And those images of Vijay alongside Periyar and Ambedkar,
Yeah.
that's a powerful statement about where he's trying to position himself ideologically.
It's not just about symbolism, though, right?
Yeah.
His speech also laid out some pretty concrete ideas,
He did.
touching on things like education, economic development, and, of course, tackling corruption.
Yeah, and the way he blends those ideas is interesting.
Okay, how so?
Well, like when he talked about setting up a branch of the state secretariat in Madurai,
Okay.
that could actually decentralize power, you know?
Yeah.
Bring the government closer to the people.
That would be a major shift, wouldn't it? It kind of goes against that traditional concentration of power in Chennai.
It does. And then there's his focus on education.
Okay.
He's pushing for a two-language policy, Tamil and English, which could really streamline the education system and create more opportunities.
I bet that would be a popular policy.
It probably would,
Yeah.
especially among younger voters. And then there's the economic reforms, like retrieving encroached agricultural lands. That's going to resonate with a lot of farmers who are feeling left behind.
It seems like he's trying to build this broad coalition, appealing to all these different groups with a mix of social, political, and economic reforms.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And that direct, concise speaking style of his,
Yeah.
it cuts through all the noise.
It's refreshing, right?
Totally different from the usual political rhetoric.
There's a real authenticity to it.
Yeah.
Like, he's not trying to be someone he's not.
Yeah.
He's using that Thalapathy persona to connect with people in a more personal way.
And it seems to be working. His fans see him as someone who gets them.
Right.
Someone who can actually represent their hopes and dreams.
Okay, so let's talk about those fans for a second. What role do they play in all of this?
Okay.
Can they actually be turned into a real political force?
That's the big question. We saw how enthusiastic they were at Vikravandi.
Yeah.
But will that translate into actual votes at the ballot box?
Right. Will they actually show up on Election Day?
That remains to be seen. And can he broaden his appeal?
Yeah, to really shake things up in Tamil Nadu, he's going to need to win over people who aren't already diehard fans.
He will. And that's where his policy platform comes in. And his ability to connect with all these different communities.
Yeah. It's interesting that he hasn't totally ruled out alliances either.
Yeah.
He said that TVK is open to working with other parties.
Yeah, but on their own terms.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's not just going it alone. He's willing to be strategic.
He is. Which could really boost his chances.
It could. But those partnerships come with risks too, right?
Yes.
Will he be able to hold on to his own identity and agenda while working with other parties?
That's the challenge. It's a delicate balancing act for sure.
So how do you think the existing political parties are feeling about all this? They can't be thrilled about a new player coming in, especially one with the kind of following that Vijay has.
The DMK definitely seems to be taking him seriously. Yeah.
Some of their recent statements suggest they see him as a real threat.
Especially among those younger voters who might be drawn to his charisma and fresh perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's the BJP.
Yeah, Vijay called out their fascism label.
He did.
It seems pretty clear he's not aligning himself with the DMK's anti-BJP stance.
Yeah, he's charting his own course, for sure, which makes things even more unpredictable.
Right. You've got the established Dravidian parties, you've got the BJP trying to gain a foothold, and now you've got Vijay emerging as this wild card.
It really is. It's like a chess game.
Yeah.
And suddenly this new unpredictable player joins the board.
And nobody knows what he's going to do next.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think what must have been going through his mind when he made this decision. To walk away from such a successful film career, to step into all the uncertainty and pressure of politics, it takes a lot of guts.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does take guts. You know, it also makes you think about the nature of power and what drives people to seek it out.
Right.
It doesn't seem like fame or fortune is the main motivator for Vijay. Yeah, he's already got that in the film industry.
Exactly. He's not chasing after something he already has.
Right.
It seems more like a sense of duty, like he feels this responsibility to use his platform for something bigger than himself.
And it's not just any platform. We're talking to someone who has adoration of millions.
Right.
He's a cultural icon.
He is, and that carries a lot of weight.
It does. It's almost like he's saying, look, I've achieved success in one area. Now I want to use that influence to tackle something even more difficult, something that can really make a difference in people's lives.
That's a good way to put it. But it's a heavy burden to carry, though.
Oh, for sure.
The expectations of his fans, the scrutiny from his opponents,
Right.
the sheer complexity of Tamil Nadu politics. It's a lot to take on.
It is. And there's no guarantee of success either.
Nope.
He could face setbacks,
Yeah.
disappointments, even betrayals along the way.
Absolutely. But even if it doesn't achieve every single goal, even if he doesn't become the chief minister or completely change the political system, just him entering politics has already shaken things up.
It has.
Yeah.
It's like this injection of energy into the whole political scene.
Right.
People are talking, debating, speculating about what's going to happen next. He's brought this sense of excitement
Yeah.
and maybe even a little bit of hope to a system that can feel kind of stale sometimes.
It's like this breath of fresh air, you know?
Yeah.
This idea that someone from outside the usual political circles can come in and challenge the status quo.
Absolutely. Regardless of what happens in the future, just by stepping into politics, Vijay has started a conversation.
Yeah.
This re-examination of what leadership can look like.
Yeah.
And what it really means to represent the people.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what are some key takeaways you think our listeners should keep in mind about Vijay's political debut?
I think the main thing is that this isn't just some actor dabbling in politics.
Right.
This is a major figure with a huge following and a clear vision. And he's coming in with the intention to disrupt the established order.
He's using familiar themes like social justice and anti-corruption,
Yeah.
but he's also blazing his own trail, challenging the existing parties on their own turf.
And it's going to be so interesting to see how this all plays out.
It will.
Will he live up to his fans' expectations?
Right.
Can he actually take on these entrenched political forces?
Yeah.
Will his unique blend of charisma, populism, and social justice resonate with voters?
Those are questions only time will answer.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
We will. But one thing's for sure. Thalapathy Vijay's entry into politics has added this whole new layer of complexity and intrigue to the already dynamic political scene in Tamil Nadu. And that, my friend, is a story worth watching.
Well said. This has been a really insightful deep dive. Thanks for joining me.
My pleasure. Always a treat to unpack these fascinating stories.
And to our listener, keep your eyes peeled. This is only the beginning of what's shaping up to be a pretty captivating political drama. Who knows what twists and turns are waiting for us in the acts to come.